royalty based price of the book. So whether it is printed price or whether it is net price after discount. So make it sure that what is the real content in the agreement. So regarding books publication, also you have to take care of certain sharp practices, avoid them, don't be a party to such things. Next slide, number 11. Publication in seminar, conference, workshop proceedings. You will find publication in the form of cyclostyled volumes, in the form of e-publication, or it can be hard copy publication by reputed publishers in case of selected good associations. This is possible. So you get API credit for this also. Double blind review is applied there also nowadays, because without that API credit you will not get. So double blind review process, I have some experience of participating in this process. Our All India All India associations like Indian Accounting Association, Indian Education or Indian Management Development Association, they hold their and they get number of articles and research papers for presentation. Now they are more interested in increasing number of their delegates. I have faced this dilemma. On the basis of blind review, I could recommend only 5 papers for presentation in the technical session out of a list of 50. The organizing secretary telephoned to me, "Sir, then how our conference will be held with only 5? Unless we relax these, number will not be there, and without number, how we will manage funding of the conference?" Yes, you are right. Your problem is well understood. But you find some way out. Like, sir, if those papers are not presentable, then can we go for poster exhibition? You may do it if you like. I don't mind. But I will not suggest them for making presentation in technical session. So go for poster presentation, no problem. But you will not publish them, mind it. So he accepted my advice. Then he again contacted me, "Sir, kindly increase number of some approved papers." I am very sorry. You may ask other expert to this service for you. Whatever I have done, it is final. Then some common mistakes we must avoid. Nowadays, conferences are held, some disturbances may be there due to pandemic. Virtual conferences online were held, or in hybrid mode these were held. Decisions could not be taken on time. So everybody was uncertain about holding of the conference. And in several cases this happens. Even otherwise, when pandemic is there, not there, this may happen. In some cases, dates are changed due to unavoidable reasons. Then how to plan for the journey, it is a big issue. And several delegates have come to suffer financial losses on this account. There are some extreme cases, but this will be useful for you people to learn. Young people may take a serious note of these things and try to avoid such pitfalls or mistakes. One candidate submitted of print of the paper published in some journal to the selection committee. Selection committee considered it. Later on, some complaint was received that it is not his original work. He has copied from such and such source. His appointment was held up by the syndicate. Inquiry was ordered. The person in whose name it was published earlier, he was contacted. The over smart fellow told that yes, this may be published in my name, but it does not belong to me. This is not my property. Then who is the real author? So he disclosed name of someone else. That sir, it is published by me for second time. Firstly, he was published in some other name. And because this is not mine work, I have no objection if so and so is pardoned by the syndicate and appointed the real author reader. He disclosed name of someone else. Then inquiry committee submitted its report to the syndicate. Then the author has no objection to plagiarism practiced by the gentleman. That's why we recommend that he may be appointed as reader. So this is a very funny case, I tell you. But these things create some problems. At some stage, one may face the rough weather. Copyright declaration is also needed in such cases when these papers are published as conference proceedings in any form. Several conferences on the same topic are also held. Then young scholars and even young faculty members, they are tempted to present the same paper at 2 or 3 conferences. Please avoid this type of foolish activity. Don't do that. You will not get credit even for one, I tell you. Several conferences, no, in this case, no royalty can be expected. Only one copy may be given, and that too for a price paid by you. Now I come to the core issue of today's lecture. Slide number 12. It will be very useful and in your own interest that you know about the highlights of UGC notification on promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher educational institutions, Regulation 2018. This has come into force from the date of publication in Government Gazette, that is 23rd July 2018. So if you ignore it, it will be at your own peril, on risk. Don't take this type of risk. You must be well conversant and well aware of provisions of this new law. This is applicable to whom? First of all, you have to understand who are going to be covered by this regulation. Number one, all higher educational institutions in India. Universities of all sorts, private or public, deemed university, deemed to be university status also is covered. Constituent colleges and affiliated colleges, all are covered in it. University centers also outside its campus, these are also covered by these regulations. This applies to whom? Who are covered under it? Master level students, research program students, whether they are full-time or part-time, all are covered. Faculties are covered. Their appointment may be of any type, whether they are full-fledged appointed, full-time appointees, part-time, contract service, visiting, guest faculty, any sort. But if they are faculty members, then these regulations will apply to them. This applies to all researchers, PhD and others, DLIT, etc. All registered research scholars are covered under this. Staff of all higher education institutions are also covered. Means office staff, support staff, technical staff, all are covered under this. Nobody is exempted. So this is a broad sweep, and you have to remember that escape routes are very difficult to find out. Now, academic integrity is defined as it is related to intellectual property right. Means some other's right is there. Legally he is the rightful owner of intellectual property, and you are misrepresenting it as your own work. Then it becomes a case of plagiarism. So academic integrity relates to intellectual property right. Common knowledge is exempted from plagiarism. What is common knowledge? Common knowledge means such quotations which are in common practice. Even common man knows about that. And in several cases we don't know that who is the author of this. In such cases, this law will not apply to quoting such common knowledge, which is in knowledge of common people. Then what is the organizational structure of integrity administration? One is at departmental level there should be academic integrity panel or committee. Head of the department will be the chairperson, and one external expert of the subject appointed by Vice Chancellor will be included in it, and one technical expert will be the member. 3-member panel is there. Presence of at least 2 members is must to constitute the quorum. It will investigate the allegations received regarding plagiarism. It has to complete its work of investigation within 45 days from the date of receipt of the complaint. It has recommendatory authority only. It is not decision-making authority, but it will recommend to the higher panel. At institutional level, there will be academic integrity panel to take decisions. It will be chaired by Pro-Vice Chancellor, if one happens to be there, or some dean will chair it. One expert nominated by the Vice Chancellor from the university itself, and one external expert, and one technical expert will be there who is well conversant with use of software, etc., to detect extent of plagiarism. In some exceptional cases, the institutional level academic integrity panel will have to conduct investigation also. What may be such possibilities? When complaint is made against head of the department or any member of that panel, then that will directly be investigated by the institutional academic integrity panel. It cannot be investigated at departmental level. In case of some publicly sensitive complaints having some political overtones, some pressures may be exerted at departmental level. In such cases, Vice Chancellor may ask the institutional academic integrity panel to investigate. Then they should be careful not to decide. Where they have worked as investigating agency, then they should not decide, because that will not be a valid decision. It can be challenged through writ petition in any high court successfully. Mind it, investigator cannot be a judge. So both roles are different. Two roles cannot be given to the same body. So that's why, in case investigation has been done by institutional level integrity panel, then it will recommend only and recommend to the Vice Chancellor. And Vice Chancellor will take the decision in that case. Suppose there is complaint against Vice Chancellor himself, then who will investigate? Who will decide? The matter will go to the Chancellor. Chancellor may constitute a separate committee to investigate in the matter. You will be surprised to know that problem is very ancient and old, but solution is new. It is innovative solution, recent solution, but problem is very old, and several very high sounding have come to grief. List is topped by our President of India, Dr. Radhakrishnan, against whom a student complaint in the court of law that he has done plagiarism from his thesis. Before award of degree, guide got it published as his own book. So none less than our worthy President of India was involved in that case. This allegation was made against him. Court case was also there. Prime Minister Pandit Nehru tried to save it to Russia so that immunity may be claimed for him. Then he was made Vice President of India. Then he became President of India also. Anyway, but a bad example was set. Ethics and law are not applicable to highly placed people. And what type of message we will give to young researchers if these things happen? You take example of Barakatullah University, Bhopal. One joint secretary from UGC dealing with college development council work. He was made Vice Chancellor there, against whom a complaint of plagiarism in his thesis was lodged. Matter was sent to the Chancellor, but due to political reasons nothing happened. Then the complainant filed a public interest petition in the High Court of Madhya Pradesh. High Court ordered to the police to register FIR against the sitting Vice Chancellor. Inquiry was ordered and the complaint was found to be true, and Vice Chancellor was made to resign from his position. So young students, young research scholars, faculty members, this is my fervent appeal to all of you that don't take today's lecture as simply a ritual, a formality. No, it is something very serious. So you have to identify that a sword has been hanging on our heads now, and we have to be aware of it. Always you must be aware of it, that any time something wrong may happen if you violate ethics or violate these bylaws. Then you have to know about what is meant by information. For the purpose of this regulation, information is defined as data, message, text, images, sound, voice, codes, computer programs, software, databases, microfilms, computer generated microfiches also. So you must know that how information is defined under these regulations. It is Bose-based definition. So you must be aware of that where you can be caught. I share with you the result of my blind review work. I found that about a dozen papers were cut, paste and downloaded from the same source, same website. Nobody disclosed the source. The contents were similar, no change was there. I advised the organizing secretary of the conference that either you reject all or you allow only one presentation. You select only one presenter, otherwise we will become a laughing staff before paper presenters. Don't allow this thing. So these are very serious issues that people very boldly make use of online resources available or e-resources available, and they are not afraid of consequences at all. This happened only for a conference. But suppose you resort to these things at some other platform, that what will happen to you? Now, what is meant by plagiarism? As I already indicated to you, that plagiarism means claiming others' intellectual property as your own work or others' idea as your own without disclosing his name or source, etc. That is unethical as well as unlawful. Now, these regulations apply to master level projects also. Master level mini research project dissertations, these are also covered under this. I recall a statement by IIM Calcutta's renowned professor S.K. Chakravarti Sahib, who published books on ethics from Oxford University Press. He was a well-known expert in management derived from Indian scriptures, Shastras, Ved, Puran, etc., Upanishad. And he successfully conducted training programs based on this at IIM Calcutta, where CEOs of leading companies from more than 60 countries participated. Out of frustration, he told once that I am sorry to say that 60% IIM students' projects are copied from such source. What will happen to the nation when they will become chief executives of some companies? What type of ethics they will practice? So at student level, if this type of state of affairs is there, then what will be the future of organizations in our country and abroad? So his concern should be understood. Students' projects are, if a scholar is coming from a college which has, what will happen to the nation when they will become notorious chief executives of some companies or copying what type at examination? Please avoid such candidates. Don't allow them to join higher level courses, because you cannot expect them to be ethical or law respecting citizens. This is not their fault only, but fault lies with colleges where they have studied, schools. When I became head of the department, I was told by university people that, sir, you must be aware of local environment. When you conduct examination, you be aware of the risk. Here, hooligans, they carry pistols also. And there may be danger to your life. And open book system is there. They will carry books to the examination hall. They will not heed to your request. They create nonsense, and due to this fear, faculty members don't accept examination duty at all. Invigilators are outsourced from the town. This is the sorry state of affair. I talked to the Vice Chancellor, sir, if we can't stop copying here, then what will happen to future researchers and faculty members? What type of people we will get? And Vice Chancellor told me that your concern is right, but what about the security of our life? I said, that is your responsibility. You have to manage it. I am ready and willing to accept this challenge. I will stop this copying business here. I will see that nobody is allowed to copy. But you have to assure me that when case is reported to you, at syndicate level, no political pressure will be allowed to play anything, any role. And all complaints signed by me, disciplinary action will be taken against them as per law. You have to give this assurance to me. And secondly, you have to make necessary arrangement for police force with some competent officer, that if need arises, he should be competent enough to take decision on the spot. So this great operation we successfully conducted. I received so many threats at my residence also. So security was to be arranged for my family also. But anyway, I could do that operation successfully. And till I remained in Rajkot campus, nobody dared to resort to copying, and all copy masters were exported to other centers. But at university center, I did not allow anybody to copy. So this is our great responsibility. If students are allowed to copy or they are doing that and we are afraid of them, then think about the army man who is doing his duty in the Siachen or other border areas. They are taking risk of their life, and we are given all salary, all privileges. Good bungalows are there, and we are enjoying company of family. Good salaries are given, and we are afraid of our life. Then what will happen to the community? Who will accept these challenges? So, friends, at college level, school level, if this disease can be controlled, then at higher level, research level, I think problem can be minimized to a big extent. So this is a national issue, not related only to one organization or one institution. But anyway, UGC has taken a bold step. We should appreciate it and we should cooperate in their effort. Now, what is meant by script? Script includes research paper, thesis, dissertation, chapters in edited books or full books, etc. But you have to note carefully that classroom assignments, term papers, project work, project reports, coursework, essays, and examination answer scripts, these regulations are not applicable to them. So these are applicable to what? Research papers, thesis, dissertation, chapters in edited books, and full books. These are covered. Source may be primary or secondary from any source. So either it is taken from some primary source or it is taken from secondary source of secondary data or tertiary source. These regulations will apply. What is the meaning of year in these regulations? Year means the year of offense of plagiarism. When plagiarism is committed, that will be the relevant year under these regulations. Then all students are covered, all type of faculty members are also covered under this. All sort of employees, office staff, non-teaching staff, they are also covered under this. Support staff, technical staff, full-time or part-time, all are covered. So now what is the duty of the organization? Institutions of higher learning, higher education, they must conduct awareness programs about these regulations, and they should make disclosure on website also about these programs. Then all research work, soft copies are to be submitted to InflibNet. Shodh Ganga e-repository is there. So you have to submit soft copies for that also. Every institution of higher education has to create its own e-repository for research and publications. Anybody can challenge it, and complaint of plagiarism by any person in the society is allowed. In some cases, institution can take a suo motu decision also, even if no complaint is made. If office comes to know about existence of any plagiarism, then it can take action at its own also without receiving any complaint. Now, when check of plagiarism is applied with the help of software, so many softwares are there, and several softwares are available free of cost. So I would advise young researchers and research guides that they can make use of free of cost softwares which are easily available online. You may go for self-check before submission of thesis or project report. So you apply yourself the check and make necessary changes. What is excluded from this check? Quotations with permission. As you know that a quotation limited to 50 words from any source within inverted commas with due disclosure of the source, even without permission, is perfectly legal. No harm will come if this is done. But if you take a longer material, then prior permission is necessary. If permission is there, if source is disclosed, then it is also excluded. List of references, bibliography, table of contents, preface, acknowledgements, generic terms, standard abbreviations, quotation of legal provision, standard symbols, and standard statistical or mathematical equations. These are excluded from check of plagiarism. No plagiarism can be alleged so far as these elements are concerned. In case of research plan, summary of findings, etc., up to 14 words in continuation can be taken from other sources, and plagiarism cannot be alleged in such case. But it is limited to 14 words only, not more. If more is there, then the problem will arise. Now we have to understand that what limits are prescribed when no action will be taken. It is 10%. If plagiarism is up to 10% only, then no action will be taken. No charge is sustained regarding plagiarism. About 10%, up to 40%, thesis or dissertation will be returned to the scholar for revision within 6 months. The extent of plagiarism has to be brought down within 10% limit within 6 months of time. Third level is above 40% to 60%. Then candidate will be debarred for 1 year. You will not be able to submit thesis or dissertation for 1 year. So debar for 1 year will be the penalty. If plagiarism is found above 60%, then registration will be cancelled. PhD or master level degree registration will be cancelled in such a case. Now, if we apply these limits to articles and research papers, try to understand again, plagiarism up to 10% is allowed. 10 to 40% paper has to be withdrawn. 40 to 60%, one increment will be stopped. If faculty member is involved, then one increment will be stopped if plagiarism is within third level range, 40 to 60%. And supervisorship or guideship will be suspended. If it is above 60%, paper must be withdrawn, 2 increments will be stopped, and supervisorship will be suspended for a longer period. This type of penalty can be imposed or will be imposed. If such offence is repeated 3 times in the career, then disciplinary action against the faculty member will be initiated. He or she may be suspended and removed from the service. Termination can also be the last capital punishment for an employee, faculty member. So we have to be aware of these problems. I already told you that 45 days time is given to departmental panel. The same time limit is there for institutional panel also. What will happen if degree is already awarded? What action can be taken? If degree is already awarded and complaint is received after that, or suo motu action is taken, then degree will be held in abeyance. No benefit of that degree can be taken by the candidate involved. This is there. So now I think it should be enough for the day. And if my message, which is loud and clear, it is taken in right spirit, I hope that some change will take place and we can save ourselves from being entrapped in legal net. So these regulations are there, but from my experience I can say that when the question of private sector will come, private universities and deemed to be organizations which are floated or promoted by very influential politicians or their friends. Several mafia people are also working as promoters of these institutions. Whether they will take this law very silently, whether they will comply with it, I have my own reservations. As university professor, I can share with you my ground level experience, real life experience. In our code of conduct, there is an old provision: no teacher will engage himself or herself in tuition work, coaching work, whether for a fee or free of charge. But what is the reality on ground level? Is it being complied with? Once I came across a full-fledged institute being run by a full-time faculty member of the university. I caught him red-handed distributing pamphlets to postgraduate students. You join my institute for coaching, otherwise you will not get good marks in continuous evaluation, internal assessment. I took it seriously. I went to the registrar's office. The registrar was a gentleman. He shared with me, "Sir, excuse me, why are you taking this risk? Our worthy Vice Chancellor himself is a partner in that institute." I told him, I don't mind if I am removed from the job, but I will make use of this provision in the code of conduct. I will see that this institution is closed down or the faculty member is made to resign from his service. So I could do that successfully, no problem. After that, VC term was over, some IAS officer came. He was very straightforward. He went through the whole file, put a remark. This will be put in the sealed cover. He asked me, Professor, you will get TADA, you go to Ahmedabad, get it cyclostyle. Don't get it locally cyclostyle. And nobody should come to know about it. I will put it in the strong room, and whenever his promotion time will come, this will be opened before the selection committee at that time, and this fellow will not get any promotion. Now he has only two choices, either to leave the job or stop the institute. So this top confidential meeting was also disclosed to him by Pro Vice Chancellor. He came to know, and he came to my residence with a bundle of currency notes. Repeated, he showed me, but I was not interested in any money. I told him plainly that I will not permit these things in my department, so take it seriously. I mean business. He made a personal request, sir, kindly wait for some time, give me 1 year's time. By that time I will be able to decide whether my private institution work is more lucrative for me or the departmental university services useful for me. I will take the final decision. Then after 1 year, he honored his words. He came with the resignation letter to me. He said, this is my resignation. I am sure that I will be better off there. So I accept your advice. I want to resign and devote my full time to the institution, coaching institute. 800 students were registered with him in the institute. So he went there, and today he is a very prosperous man. But I tell you that in university department, these things should not be allowed, and we have to deal it with a firm determination and firmness. Only then things can improve. तो किसी को तो बदनाम होना पड़ेगा, ये मान के चलिए. सभी लोग सज्जन बने रहेंगे तो काम चल नहीं सकता. ज़्यादा अच्छा ये है कि हमारे यंग स्टूडेंट्स, रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स, यंग फैकल्टी मेंबर्स, they should take all these things seriously and make a correct choice about their own approach, own work. Thank you very much for all the 3 days. I am very grateful to you people. I am grateful to Professor Jain, my younger brother, friend, for remembering me for this challenging task. And young faculty members who have constituted team to organize this program, they deserve all the grateful thanks from me, best blessings for them. Young scholars, other respectful persons in the audience, I offer my greetings and pranams to all of them. I would invite, if any queries are there, or if you have any viewpoint to express on my submissions. Thank you very much. Hope to meet you again someday somewhere. बिछुड़ते हैं फिर से मिलने के लिए, इस आशा के साथ.
So nice, so nice.
Thank you so much, sir.
कोई भी क्वेश्चन
any
हो,
questions?
क्वेरीज हो?
Mr. Kishore, music class. Sir. Yes, participate. किसी को कुछ पूछना?
जैन साहब ये समस्या पूरी यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए है, ये बता दूं. एक
जी, जी.
डिपार्टमेंट का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ये.
बिल्कुल. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर, मैं
वेलकम
एग्री
जी।
करता हूँ।
जी
अभी एक बेसिक जो आपने चीज बताई ना,
जी
कि किसी को तो अच्छा बनाने के लिए बुरा बनना पड़ेगा।
जी जी, सेक्रीफाइस तो करनी पड़ती है।
तो जो बुरा बनने के लिए तैयार हो,
जी
वो अच्छाइयों को प्रिवेल करने के लिए भी तैयार रहेगा।
बिल्कुल।
क्योंकि इतिहास उन्हीं का बना है
हाँ,
जिन्होंने कुछ किया है।
अच्छाई को
आप
रिवार्ड देंगे, अच्छाई को रिवार्ड मिलेगा, बिल्कुल मिलेगा। अगर आपके हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो कन्विंस्ड है आपकी अच्छाई से, तो यू कैन
जी,
डू सेवरल थिंग्स फॉर यू, नो डोंट वरी।
that will be done. So far as the students of my department are concerned, they are very sincere, and they are complying with the ethical guidelines for doing that
जी जी जी
research
जी।
work. So, Rupali,
यस सर, यस सर।
Dr. Rupali, yes, please. कोई क्वेश्चन और हो तो सोच ले, बात कर ले,
जी जी।
थोड़ा बात फॉर्मल फॉर्मल बहुत हो गया, थोड़ा इनफॉर्मल बात मैं भी
हाँ,
क्वेश्चन।
इनफॉर्मल बातें करिए, इनफॉर्मल। बिल्कुल, आई विल एंजॉय योर कंपनी।
यस,
ये
पार्टिसिपेंट में से किसी को कुछ पूछना है? आज सर ने क्या है सर, इथिकल के साथ एक चीज से डरा दिया कि पार्टिसिपेंट पूछ नहीं ले कि अनइथिकल चलने पर कितना खतरा है। उस पर सर
हाँ, ये जरूर,
ने
यही अवेयरनेस आनी चाहिए।
एक्सप्लेन करा है। तो
जी
मुझे लगता है ये आज सबसे ज्यादा यूजफुल है कि एथिक्स तो बता रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको ये भी बताना है कि आप यदि जरा भी गड़बड़ करते हैं तो क्या क्या आपके साथ पेनल्टीज है, क्या प्रोसिक्यूशन है, ये भी नॉलेज में होना चाहिए। यस
बिल्कुल।
महेंद्र जी, इकोनॉमिक्स डिपार्टमेंट, कुछ पूछना है आपको?
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम, मैं डॉक्टर स्मिता बर्गे,
या
मैं कुछ कहना चाहूँगी।
हाँ हाँ।
नमस्कार सर, मैं पिछले 3 दिनों से ये लेक्चर सीरीज अटेंड कर रही हूँ। मैं पंडित रविशंकर शुक्ल यूनिवर्सिटी छत्तीसगढ़ से हूँ और बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी मुझे ये मिली है यहाँ पर ज्वाइन करने की। सर बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें बहुत डिटेल में आपसे पता चली हैं और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। ऐसा लगा कि और ये आगे बढ़ता तो भी बहुत मजा आता, बहुत अच्छा लगता। सर थैंक यू सो मच। मैम से मैं पहले भी रिफ्रेशर कोर्स के दौरान मिल चुकी हूँ और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा फिर से एक बार मैम के साथ में ये लेक्चर सीरीज अटेंड करने के लिए। मैम प्लीज ऐसा और भी आगे करवाते रहिएगा। थैंक यू सो मच सर। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
तो
Anyone else? Anyone?
सर सर आप अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने को, खंडेलवाल
थोड़ा,
सर।
हाँ,
जी
मेरा निवेदन है कि थोड़ा स्टूडेंट्स को ऐसी इवेंट्स पर पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए मोटिवेट करिए, कुछ
जी
उनको
सर।
इंसेंटिव ऑफर करिए कि कुछ सवाल पूछोगे तो आपको क्रेडिट अच्छी मिलेगी।
वो जो भी क्वेश्चंस करेंगे डॉक्टर साहब आज,
जी जी
they will be given opportunity to visit the department.
जी जी बिल्कुल।
And a companion of you. Right. I think
देखिए
there is
जैन
no
साहब ऐसा
question.
है, जैन
जी
साहब ऐसा है, इनफॉर्मल बात कर रहे हैं अपन अब,
जी जी
फॉर्मल में नहीं है, अब फॉर्मल मोड में नहीं है।
जी
ये शरीर तो नाशवान बनाया है प्रकृति ने,
जी
इसका नष्ट होना तो अनिवार्य है।
जी
जो कुछ हमने एक्वायर किया है इतने सालों में,
जी
वो इस शरीर के समाप्ति के साथ चला जाएगा।
बिल्कुल सही, बिल्कुल सही।
तो हमारा प्रयास तो यही है कि जो कुछ है, हम जब तक धरती पे जीवित हैं तब तक अगर आपके किसी के भी काम आ सकें,
जी
यंग रिसर्चर्स के, तो वो हम अपना सौभाग्य समझते हैं। कि हमारी तो वानप्रस्थ की स्थिति भी निकल गई, अब तो संन्यास की स्थिति है। 75 भी क्रॉस हो गया, 80 के नजदीक जा रहे हैं।
जी जी
तो
जी
भगवान आप लोगों की शुभकामनाओं से अभी एनर्जी दे रहा है, काम चल रहा है, कर रहे हैं काम। तो मैं समझता हूँ जितना हम समाज के लिए उपयोगी हो सके उतना हमें खुशी होगी, वरना ये ज्ञान हमारे साथ ही जो है विलीन हो जाएगा। तो हम चाहते हैं कुछ वर्क जो है व्याख्यानों के रूप में रहे आपके पास, या पुस्तकों के रूप में रहे, ये ज्ञान चलता रहे।
ये अच्छा सर आपने याद दिला दिया। मैं पार्टिसिपेंट से चाहूंगा कि आपका जो इथिक्स पर जो बुक है ना सर, इंडियन इथोस पर
जी जी जी
और वैल्यू एजुकेशन पर,
जी।
ये सभी जो लोग हैं वो खरीदें। मैं आपके उसका एड्रेस जो है वो आप मुझे भेज दीजिए, सो दैट आई विल फॉरवर्ड टू देम, वो उसको
नहीं,
खरीदें।
लिंक तो मैंने भेज दिया इनका, बिजनेस
लिंक,
एथिक्स का तो लिंक भेजा है मैंने।
अच्छा लिंक तो ठीक है, उसका पब्लिशर का एड्रेस हो जाएगा तो वो हार्ड कॉपी में पढ़ने का
हाँ
कुछ अलग आनंद हो जाता है।
भेज दूंगा, भिजवा दूंगा
सो
आपको।
हाँ, तो सभी लोग रहेंगे, इससे जुड़े हुए रहेंगे। और ये जो टॉपिक है इस पर डॉक्टर साहब आपको आगे भी थोड़ा बहुत कष्ट देते रहेंगे। कष्ट क्या, प्लेजर लेते रहेंगे हम लोग, ऐसा कहते हैं।
It will be my pleasure also. I will
अब
enjoy
इतने
your
इतने
company.
इतने लोगों के मानसिक शुद्धिकरण आपने करने का प्रयास किया है। हो सकता है इसमें से, मुझे लगता है कि 90 प्लस का तो मानसिक शुद्धिकरण हुआ ही है। और इससे आगे जो रिसर्च होंगे उनमें इथिक्स का पालन, उनका एक बेहतर नजरिया होगा। क्योंकि ज्यादातर हम बहुत शॉर्ट टर्म गेन में अपने आप को इन्वॉल्व कर लेते हैं और कोशिश करते हैं कि बस वो गेन ही हमारा सब कुछ है। मेटेरियलिस्टिक जो गेन्स हैं उसमें हम डूब जाते हैं। पर जो 3 दिन में जिस तरह से आपने चीजों को सिस्टमेटाइज किया, जिस तरह से आपने प्रेजेंट किया, वेरी सिंपल लैंग्वेज, जिस तरह से आपने सुनने वालों को अट्रैक्ट किया, जिस जो भाव आपका रहा, और आपको जिस कंटिन्यूटी और जिस सदाशयता के साथ लोगों को उन अनुभवों के साथ जो आपने जिए हैं लोगों को बताते रहे, मुझे लगता है इससे बड़ा इस पार्टिसिपेशन का इससे बड़ा कोई अचीवमेंट नहीं है। तो मुझे लगता है डॉक्टर साहब आपने यू हैव डिड ए लॉट फॉर अस। और व्हाट कैन आई डू, वी डू दैट, वी विल थिंक ओवर, time will come and I will we would like to invite you to the department so that you may interact with the students, scholars and teachers also. और लर्निंग का कोई एंड नहीं है सर। आपका गीता का ज्ञान जो है, जब कभी कोई वीडियो खोल लेते हैं तो मजा आ जाता है, लगता है कि है ना, ऐसा लगता है कि पूरा गीता मुझे भी पढ़ लेना चाहिए। पर आप भी जानते
Every
हैं
Sunday
कि
I am available every Sunday
जी
6 p.m.
जी
on Vartik TV channel.
जी जी
I am member of a panel there.
सर,
100 episodes will go.
वेरी गुड। तो ये सब
Managerial
चीजें हैं जी
aspects
सर,
of Bhagavad Gita.
अंदर थोड़ा देखने पड़े
जी
हमें
जी,
भूल रहे हैं।
मुझे
I
लगता है
deal with
बहुत अच्छा।
managerial aspects.
जी 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 जी। डॉक्टर रूपाली,
यस सर,
जी
कुछ स्टूडेंट रहे थे। रितु रितु आर्या।
जो बंद कर लेगा।
Very good evening, sir. Sir, I am a student of PhD Physics first sem department and I am also a fresher in research scholar. सर मैं 3 दिन से आपके लेक्चर सुन रही हूँ एंड आई एम वेरी मच इम्प्रेस्ड अबाउट योर लेक्चर सर. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर गिविंग अस योर वैल्यूएबल टाइम. सर आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन इन माय माइंड रिगार्डिंग प्लेजियरिज्म. सर हमने इन 3 दिनों में जाना कि हमारी रिसर्च में जब हम अपने थीसिस लिखते हैं तो उसमें प्लेजियरिज्म हो सकती है. तो सर जैसे मेरी स्ट्रीम है, मेरी फिजिक्स स्ट्रीम है, तो सर हाउ कैन आई आइडेंटिफाई दैट मैं प्लेजियरिज्म से कैसे बच सकती हूँ अपनी थीसिस लिखने के टाइम?
देखिए ऐसा है, फर्स्ट स्टेप फॉर ए यंग रिसर्चर इज दिस दैट दे शुड डिवोट टाइम इन लाइब्रेरी.
Yes sir.
Whatever existing knowledge is there, they should explore it.
Yes sir.
When they start writing, means first you can copy from the book itself.
Yes sir.
Whatever important is there, you write down.
Yes sir.
Then next phase will be to write in your own words.
Sir.
Prepare some small sentences, some paragraphs you prepare every day. Then
Yes sir.
idea may be of others. You may
Yes sir.
acknowledge their idea, their ownership, that so and so has said this.
Yes, sir.
Then you write in your own words also.
Yes, sir.
So in this way, you will be outside the net of this law of plagiarism.
Yes, sir.
Because as you know that if someone is writing a book,
Yes,
he may
sir.
collect 1 dozen books from the library and prepare a new book of his own
Yes, sir.
without any plagiarism.
Yes,
You
sir.
can do that.
Yes, sir.
If you do research work, you are a PhD scholar,
Yes, sir.
you may collect 80 or 100 titles from the library.
Yes, sir.
And then you make up your mind that what is the space for me.
Yes, sir.
You do the literature survey or literature review yourself.
Yes, sir.
Don't go for ready-made.
Okay, sir.
Several websites give you ready-made also.
Yes, sir.
Go for shortcuts.
Okay, sir.
Do it yourself.
Yes, sir.
You write it and first research paper from your thesis
Yes,
should be
sir.
based on survey of literature
Yes, sir.
or literature review itself.
Yes, sir.
And if you have done your job sincerely by
Yes, sir.
devoting time in library or reading room,
Yes, sir.
then naturally your paper will be a good contribution,
Yes, sir.
research contribution.
Yes, sir.
Then gradually you will muster courage. So far
Yes,
as
sir.
physics is concerned, most of the work is done in the laboratory,
Yes,
under
sir.
controlled variable situation.
Yes, sir.
So if resources are good, your guides are good, your fellows are good, then
Yes, sir.
you have good supportive staff also.
Yes,
Then
sir.
your work will be very easy as compared to social sciences students, I know.
Yes, sir.
Because social sciences students, they have to go to the field work, field
Yes, sir.
and they will get cold answers that this is secret information, we can't share with you. And
Yes,
researchers
sir.
put to lot of hassles. And
Yes, sir.
then an impression is created that he is not finding time to meet his guide. But
Yes, sir.
some genuine problems is facing. We have to realize this thing. As
Yes, sir.
compared to social sciences students, you are very lucky that you are doing your experiments in a controlled laboratory
Yes, sir.
situation. And
Yes, sir.
mechanical devices are there, computer is there. All these findings are recorded in it. Analysis
sir.
is also done for you. Then you have to do interpretation only.
Yes, sir.
Lot of facilities you are having, don't worry about it. The only
Yes, sir.
thing is that you have to develop your expression. Your
Yes, sir.
your language must be there. How
Yes,
to
sir.
make a scientific presentation proper way.
Yes, sir.
Then you take small steps.
Yes, sir.
Don't get afraid of the volume of your thesis.
Yes, sir.
So you come out of that fear. You take small steps. That
Yes,
today
sir.
I will write 1 page, 2 page, 3 page. I will write in my own words.
Yes, sir.
And mistakes may be there. Don't worry about mistakes. Your guide must be quite generous people. They may
Yes,
be
sir.
knowing your limitations.
Yes, sir.
As guide, I have done language editing also for my research scholars.
Yes,
Given
sir.
my time. So that is not difficult.
Okay,
But
sir.
gradually you do. Gradually
sir.
you do.
Okay, sir.
Things cannot be done immediately.
Yes, sir.
But
Okay.
small steps and
Yes, sir.
avoid the charm of copying from any source.
Yes, sir.
You may take it, but then you express in your own words. You learn this thing.
Yes, sir. Sure. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Miss Sneha.
Hello.
Yes, Sneha, you are audible.
Good evening,
Welcome,
ma'am. Good
welcome.
evening, sir. This is Sneha Bibyan from Department of Zoology. I am a research fresher in the Department of Zoology. Sir, it was so great to hear you, and we have learned a lot of information. So I have a very general question that if a scholar, he has admitted or participated in the PhD program and has a prior research interest in a particular field, but due to some reason but that particular field or the research and the field in which we are interested is not available, or a particular guide in that field is not available. So what should be the next step that a scholar should take as we are a freshly admitted, so we don't have prior knowledge, and whatever field which we are going to take now, it is a long process, because for the rest of our further process we have to work in that particular field. So sir, according to you, I want some suggestion that if that the field in which we are interested is not available right now, or the we can say that guide which who are going to guide us for that field is not available, so what should be the next step at this stage? So you're not audible.
Sir, unmute yourself.
Yes. Thank you. My advice to you is this, that you search for a right person. He may not be your guide, but
Yes.
he must be master of that field in which you want to do work. The right person has to be consulted,
Yes, sir.
number one. Secondly, if university rules permit, you can approach a dean of the faculty for permitting you to work under joint supervision.
Okay, sir.
If it is permissible, you can do that. Third thing is this, in some universities for faculty members, it is permissible to do research independently, without any guide also. But this depends upon the university ordinances, regulations, so you have to consult them whether it is permissible at your university or not. In Gujarat, several universities have this